Hi, my beautiful people. How's it going again? This is the quick feedback that you should have done it last week, right? So if you didn't do it, please go back to the platform and finish it. What is the objective for this quiz feedback? Is to summarize the use and the structure of the third conditional by explaining the correct answers to all the questions from the quiz. So here we go. I started with question number 7. If they the sum properly, they each much better. Parenthesis, practice and sing. I decided to start with question number 7 because it is the typical example of the third conditional structure in the positive form. What is the reason? Because you identify if plus subject plus the past perfect. And the second part, the result, conditional result, subject plus would plus the present perfect. And remember to separate it with a comma. More importantly, in the past perfect form, you have plus the past participle form, or the one that you know as PP, right? PP form. The second includes the present perfect with have plus the PP form again, okay? So what is the idea? This is something that you shouldn't do in your tests, but you usually do it. Could it be letter A in this case? No, because would is never connected to if, right? Because of the structure, because of the form. In the case of letter B, again, the same mistake. And then we go to letter C. It says sang, right? Why are past participle forms important? Because if you know them, base form sang, past simple sang, past participle form sung, right? You should know that letter D is the correct answer. So in here, I'm going to give you some clues for you to understand why one answer is the correct one and not the others, right? By doing this process of crosses. Then, let's continue with number 3. Again, it is the positive structure, and now we are going to remember the short forms of this. What is the short form of have, people? Apostrophe D, right? What is the short form of have in this case? Apostrophe DE. Remember that in terms of pronunciation, you say would have, right? Question number 3 says, if Liz, the baggy club, she, more friends. Actions join and make, right? If we start with the typical process, you are going to see that letter A cannot be because of would. Letter B, did, doesn't make any sense, right? And letter C, there is a problem with the second part. In this part, look at this. It says have, make. It is not possible. So that is the reason that you say that letter D is the correct answer. Let's translate it into Spanish for you to have an idea of this. It says, si Liz hubiera o hubiese unido al club vegetariano, ¿cierto? Ella habría hecho más amigos, right? Sorry for the slow translation, right? But I needed to do it correctly. In the first part, hubiera o hubiese, right? In the second part, habría. Let's see. Question number 2 says, Gloria the money to the charity if she the lottery. If you remember, this is like the typical example that I give, to in my PPTs. Why is this important? Because what happens when if is on the second part? We do this. Look at my special effects. We exchange the condition and the result. And obviously, you need to eliminate the comma. In this process, people, B, C, and D are not possible for the reasons that I explained before, right? And A obviously is the correct answer. Gloria would have given the money to the charity if she had won the lottery. But now let's talk about the function of this, because obviously the third conditional has got a use. I got two questions. Did Gloria win the lottery? Yes or no? No. It is in a hypothetical situation in the past. For that reason, if the condition wasn't possible in the past, did Gloria give the money to the charity? Absolutely not. So, the function of the third conditional is a situation in the past that did not happen. We, in this case, imagine how things or the situations could have been different, and that is related to the concept of regrets, arrepentimientos, right? Which is the concept that you have repeated in all the PPTs in this period, right? Let's move on. Let's have a look at an example with the negative form. Number 1, I to university if my mother not go, not pay, right? And this is very simple. What is the negative form of would, people? And what is the negative form of had? Look at that. Would not or wouldn't, had not or hadn't. As simple as that. That is the reason that letter B is the correct answer. Si yo no hubiera ido a la universidad, perdón, yo no habría ido a la universidad si mi mamá no hubiera pagado, right? That is important. Mothers are very important. Then, question number 4. Let's go to the question or the interrogative form. Why did I separate this part? Subject, would, present perfect. Because obviously, in the case of questions, you need to exchange the position of the modal verb and the subject. So, obviously, remember to eliminate the comma. Let's have a look at the possibilities, letter A and letter B. And please, this is something that you are going to remember from now. You do not separate the present perfect, okay? So that is the reason that letter A is the correct answer, because it says, if it had rained yesterday, what would you have done at home? Okay? Number 5, if Mark, a 50-minute shower, comma, he, something, the bus to the airport, and the actions are not take and not miss. In here, as you can see, some people go to letter B, but there are two problems. Look at that. Took, and there is something in there that is missing. Obviously, when you say take, base form, took, past simple, taken, past participle, PP form. And B would have been correct if have would have been in that part, right? You never miss the elements, people. This is like a repetition of the same. So letter E is the correct answer, and actually it is if Mark hadn't taken, right, a 50-minute shower, he wouldn't have missed the bus to the airport. Okay? Let's continue. Number 6 says, if I questions in class, I problems in the test. Not have, ask. In this part, some people go to letter C, right? But look at that. Here, wouldn't have. There is something missing in that part. Wouldn't have had. No habría tenido, right? Listen to this. Habría tenido. Had past participle form, but you need the present perfect together. And the present perfect is have plus the past participle form. I think that some people confuse because of the action, because of the verb. Number 8. And a solution to the problem if she, it, before, and the actions are find and discuss. Okay? The problems in some of the options, for example, letter A and letter D, are related to the conjugation of the verb find, which is not regular verb. It is not a regular form. That is the correct answer, letter B, and would have found a solution to the problem and habría encontrado una solución al problema si ella lo hubiera discutido antes. That is the correct answer, if she had discussed it before. Let's go to number 9 and look at that. In this question, we have most of the problems. Only 48% of the people answer the correct answer, which is letter E. I'm going to show you the answer immediately. Would Sam have been late for work if he had got up earlier? Right? That is the correct answer. Now let's go back to this process. When you say this part, remember to exchange the position of the condition and the result. And now let's go to the alternatives. A means that I separated the present perfect and you don't have to do it again. B does not make any sense. It is not similar to the structure. And letter C and letter D are very confusing. If you translate it into Spanish, it doesn't make any sense. So that is the reason that, again, letter E is the correct answer. Let's move on, because we need to finish with this. Question number 10, probably you didn't have any problems because you say, if I hadn't stopped the car quickly, right? Si yo no hubiera parado el auto rápidamente, we would have crashed against a tree, right? Nosotros hubiéramos chocado en contra de un árbol, right? If you translate it into Spanish, you are going to see that that is the correct answer. And for example, not letter, in this case, letter C, right? Because C is not related to the structure. Right, but letter V would have been a grammatically correct answer, but it doesn't make any sense. Okay, people? So, looking at the results, most of the people have very good answers, right? My piece of advice is to always remember the structure. This is like the repetition of the same. If you don't remember the structure, the elements of a sentence, you are going to have problems in the future, right? Remember to practice the past participle forms. And I think that's it for today. This is the feedback. Bye bye. Sayonara.